All right. Oh, that was a weak-ass clap. All right. Well, hey, everybody. It's Grim Green from grimgreen.com back here today. Welcome to Wildcard Wednesday. As I said last week, this week on Wildcard Wednesday, we're going to be talking about this. We're going to be talking about this little fancy device. This is the newest possible version of the Ego atomizer battery kit. Joyetech's been doing this as long as I can possibly remember, and then they released the Ego Twist, which was I felt was quite a game changer. I don't think this is a game changer, but it is a very cool kit for newer people. It's the Joyetech 1. This is the Ego 1. So in order to get to know it, as always, just a little bit better, we're going to go up close for a quick short uppy closey time. You know, I like that view so much from the last video that I'm just going to keep it going right here. This is the Joyetech Ego 1. This is a complete sort of kit. This is the upgraded version of the old Joyetech Ego system, and let me tell you, it works pretty freaking fantastic. Kit comes with a battery, an atomizer, and two atomizer heads. So the atomizer heads very much remind me of the Aspire Atlantis, no, not Atlantis, the Aspire Nautilus mini coil heads in there. I've noticed that the O-ring along the top gets a little chewed up when you screw it and unscrew it from the tank. Now, the tank doesn't have a huge capacity. It has a 2 mil capacity. In fact, they make a smaller tank, I think with a 1.5 mil capacity. So it doesn't hold a mountain of juice, but it does hold some juice. You can use the windows on the side to see how full you're filling it. If I take, I don't even remember what juice I have in here. I think it's, yellowberry. So you can, it's difficult to fill. I mean, I'm not gonna lie. You put your squonker, your little tip over here on the side, and you squeeze, and I can see the juice level on the inside rising. That's kind of full. The problem is the windows on the side are completely level with how high you have to fill it. So if you see juice in your windows, you might be filling it just a little too far. Coil head goes on the inside. These come in 1.5 ohm and 0.5 ohm coil heads, and they're very small. Like I said, they remind me of the Aspire Atlantis or Nautilus. Damn it, Nautilus Mini. But anyway, it screws together very much in the same way. And when you screw it together, when you get it tight, your juice flow is, or your airflow is all the way open. If you want to close your airflow, that's how you do it. It's open, it's closed, it's open a little bit, it's open a lot of bit. I end up just opening this all the way. It's not quite enough airflow for a lung hit like it says you can do on the website, but it is nice for mouth to lung hits. So the battery itself charges via USB. It puts out under load 4.5 volts, consistently 4.5 volts. That's the 510 connection with some very shiny chromey on there. When you press the button, it lights up white around the edges. You can do the 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, and it flashes, and now it's off and locked and turned off. You can do 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, and it's on now. And when you press it, it does light up along the edges. And this is meant to be a kit. It's meant to go together. This screws on here. There's nothing to fiddle with, nothing to adjust. You simply fill up your tank, you press the button, and you vape it. I've been rocking it with a K-Fun style, actually a K-Fun drip tip, but it does come with its own drip tip. In fact, it comes with a goodie bag of 2 drip tips, a clear one and a shiny metal one, and then another replacement coil head in there. In fact, I want to open this up and I want to get that drip tip out. I want to get that shiny silvery drip tip out because I think that looks cool. And obviously it fits on there, it works well, and that looks pretty neat. So yeah, Ego 1 up close and personal. Let's get back out to normal view and let's vape this. Normal view, normal. So yeah, that's some up close and personal time there with the Joyetech Ego 1. There's not a whole lot going on here, which is great. It's a very simple to use vape, and that's one thing that I would love to see in vaping. There's always, pardon me, like I said, gonna be that hobby side. I fucking love the hobby side. I love building atomizers. I love getting mods and fiddling with things and putting things together and just making them work the best way that you possibly can. And then there's this side of vaping, the majority side of vaping, who just want something very, very simple. And I want it to get even simpler than this. This is as simple as it gets right now. You have an atomizer with a coil head. You put the coil head in the base, you fill up the tank, you put it all together, you put it on the battery, and you vape. This battery gives off a very steady and solid 4.5 volts under load, which means it's probably giving off about 5 volts with nothing attached to it. But it gives you a definitely strong 4.5 volts under load right off the battery. This particular battery is the 2200 milliamp version, but they do make an 1100 milliamp version that is much, much smaller. In fact, the Joytech site isn't ripe with information. Looks a lot like the Apple site, and I'll be linking it in the description. The one device for everyone. That is a big statement to make. Comes in 1100 mAh version and a 2200 mAh version. This is the 2200 mAh version, which is the biggest. And as you can see, not really even that big at all. They do have a bunch of cool color options though. Red, blue, black, stainless white, and that fantastical Tiffany blue that they call magical blue that everyone seems to love. When you see the exploded version of it, it looks a little bit more complicated than it really is. But basically, the coil head goes into the base, you fill up your tank, you put it all together, and you just press the button basically and vape it. It doesn't have a juice capacity on here. On the tank, so there's two types of atomizer heads and they're interchangeable. One is a 1 ohm head, they say it's for mouth inhaling. One is the 0.5 ohm head for lung inhaling. What I have on here is the 1 ohm head, and it has an adjustable airflow, and I end up leaving it all the way open when I do mouth to lungs. Mouth to lung right there. Or you can close it down and still do some mouth to lungs. Where's the button? The flavor is really nice, the performance is really nice. Or you can open this all the way up. And they say with the 0.5 ohm head, it's wider diameter through the center, so you get more airflow, and you open up this airflow all the way, and it says, 0.5 ohm head is especially suitable for mouth to lung inhale or direct lung inhale. The sub-ohm coil can easily create huge vapor production. With its loose draw, it is perfect for any cloud chasing enthusiast. This is what makes me believe that Joytech is not super in touch with the market, because a cloud chaser is not probably going to buy this or really be super impressed with the clouds it creates. Allow me to demonstrate a lung inhale with the Ego 1. Not too bad, but if I grab this tank, huge dense vapor. With the Ego 1, big-ish vapor, but the draw is very, very tight. Don't mess around with lung inhales on the Ego 1. It is possible, but I mean, I guess it's possible on almost anything, right? That doesn't mean you should do it. Mouth to lung, that's the way to go on this. The Ego 1 has become my travel vape. If I'm flying somewhere, I just fill this up with juice and I throw it in my backpack. I can secretly stealth vape in the bathroom at airports. If I'm on the plane, I can sit in the back with the lights off and can super stealth vape on a plane if you're feeling risky, although I wouldn't recommend doing it. But this has become my travel vape. It's easy to pull out of my bag when I get out of the airport and just take a few satisfying toots before I can get my full setup going, you know, if I'm headed to a vape meet or something like that. And there are 2 tanks available for it. There's a 1.8 mil and a 2.5 mil. This is the 2.5 mil, the bigger of the two. I do have the smaller battery and the smaller tank that I will probably be giving away at some point in the future. Airflow adjustment on the bottom, comes with a glass or a metal drip tip. I kind of like the way the metal one looks there. And the glass, organic glass? Organic glass? Is there something other than organic glass? Are we not always making glass out of sand? Is there non-organic sand? Is there non-organic glass? Organic glass drip tip, which is actually a really nice drip tip. It's pretty wide bore. This one is not, but the glass one is pretty wide bore. I could use that on a dripper and be very satisfied. You just fill up your juice. So the battery will, depending on the battery flashes, it'll tell you how full it is. So if you're pressing the button and it stays lit, it's in the 60 to 100% fully charged range. If you're pressing the button and it slowly flashes, then that's in the 30 to 59% range. If it what is the difference between slowly and moderately flashing? Come on. If it moderately flashes, it's in the 10% range, and if it flashes in frequency, that means it's in the 0% range. So I guess a good rule of thumb would be when you press the button and it flashes, might be time to charge it. I don't know. That's just what I've been doing. Charges via USB. They include a charger in it. They include a little goodie bag in it, and it gives you 2 drip tips and an extra coil head. Additionally, the one that comes in the atomizer. There is a small LED on the bottom here as well, so that when you plug it in and charges, that will glow red, and it will turn off when it's fully charged. They say it takes 2 hours to charge. It's a very nice, sleek device. If you're just thinking about getting into vaping now, the Ego 1 is definitely a good way to go. This battery has a 510 connection on it, and it says it can run a 0.5 ohm coil head. I do have a 0.5 ohm Arctic head right here. Let's see how it goes. Let's see how it vapes. Can I put this Arctic tank on the Ego 1? Oh, and it's firing. Power is less than impressive. But it does work. So in the event that you want to upgrade to some sort of sub-ohm tank, this will fire a 0.5 ohm coil with no issues. Like I said, this has become my travel vape. It's very, very reliable. The flavor is nice. The performance is nice. The coil heads are easy to change. The tank is basically easy to fill. It's a little claustrophobic in there, but you can just stick your bottle in there and squeeze and fill it up and see what's going on. It's kind of foolproof. There's not a whole lot that you can mess up. Be careful when you're charging your batteries. Don't just plug it in and leave it sitting there for days on end. Monitor them. Charge them when you're home. Don't charge them overnight. There's been all sorts of battery fucking nonsense that's going on. So just be careful with all batteries in life, whether it's in your laptop, your iPhone, or your vape. You need to be careful with batteries because batteries are volatile little tubes that can turn on you. They have no feelings and they are unrelenting in their mission. So just be careful, and I'm going to post links in the description to where you can pick this up. Of course, I'm going to link to the Joytech site as well as who has this in stock. I'll find someone who has this in stock. I believe sigelei found them. They have them in stock. $50. The kit is yours. Use your vape budget hands, but for a full kit, if you're just getting into it, man, $50 is a good deal. When I first got into vaping, I spent $300 on a sigelei and felt no more ripped off than I have ever felt in my life. With this, $50 and you will not feel ripped off. I very highly recommend this to new people. Thank you so much for watching. Links are in the description. And as always, everybody, let's keep on vaping.
That's enough.